Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi. Thank you for joining in our webinars. Just a few people. Currently, we're just waiting for a few people to join in, and then we can get started in about 5 to 10 minutes or so. So while we're here, just a few questions that I can ask our users here. So let's see. Welcome to this Blue webinars. Today we'll be covering event planning, so we'll just wait a couple of minutes for some of the users to join in and then we can get started. Also, thank you so much for being very early. Hello. So I think some of us here like pro Blue users, so we already know a lot about Blue, and thank you for joining in this webinar. Just hoping to see a few more people and then we can jump right in. Another thing would be is that this webinar is recorded, so you can always access it on our YouTube site. So it's just go to YouTube and it will be Blue Teamwork, and then you'll be able to access our webinars. Another thing is that I do have another screen here. Just if there's any questions pop up during our webinars, then I will quickly answer if it relates to the current topic, and also leave all the Q&A sessions for everybody to ask questions. If by the end of the video I can jump in and answer. Unfortunately, it will be just me today on this webinar. Manny is not able to join, but hopefully in the next one he'll be able to join and just talk a little bit more about his experience with Blue, and also different topics. Like the one we mentioned last week would be like agency topics, so hopefully next week that will be something that we can look forward to. Oh, okay, I just see the chat here. Don is here as well. So Don is actually our co-founder. So yeah, Don is here as well. Thank you for joining. Not in the text. So for this week, we're actually sticking with SuperPeer again for this week, but I'm actually looking into switching this to Zoom. So for the next week, we're actually going to be running our webinar through Zoom instead of SuperPeer. So let's just wait a couple more minutes and then we can jump right into our event planning webinars. Gary, so the start time would be around like 11:08 at my time, so it's gonna be in like 3 minutes or so. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join in, and then we can get started. But we should be starting at around 11:08 or in about 3 minutes. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave the questions in this question box or in the chat box. If you need to, I'll answer it during the webinars as well if it related to the topics that we are discussing in the webinars. And also I'll leave a Q&A later. New intros on YouTube. Yes, definitely. Hold on. Yeah, maybe we can do an edits about that on the YouTube posting. And then we can also add like a timestamp on when to jump in so that user can actually quickly get into which sections of the video that we'll be doing. Okay, I think we can get started. If people join in later, then I think I can continue through this. Again, you can always access the recording on YouTube. So yeah, if you're in Web Planner, if you have any questions ahead, just let us know. You can always leave a questions in the question box again, and then yeah, and then I'll answer it during the call. If you have any other questions that related to Blue at the moment, you can always leave the questions here as well. If it's not related to the webinar, I can help answer as much as I can while we're here. Okay, so I think we can get started now. Let me actually share my screen, and then I'll need to turn off this video, and then we can get started. Please let me know if you're able to see my screen now. It should pop up right now, as I can also see in the dual monitor. You can also see my screen. Okay, so let me just jump right onto Blue. Great. Okay, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you. So let me just jump into Blue right now. So as you can see, this is the main Blue project. This would be your companies, and this would be the recent project that you recently accessed to. So if you click on the Blue company right here, this will be your recent activity page, and then also recent active people. So as you can see, there are people here that are currently not active because it's like late at night right now. So so these are all the active recent active people, so you can actually view your people in here, or you can view like the recent activities, and this just indicates that like the overdue due dates, and then you can also view just to see like what are the tasks that are overdue. So and then if you go through here, this would just shows like all the activities that are on blue right now. So as you can see, like this is the today event, so I was just preparing for day, and that's why it shows like a lot of me, but normally it shows like other team members as well on here. And then you can always filter it by dates just to see like which day you want to see. And if, for example, I recently took a day off the other day, so if I click on here and then filter it out, I can see like what I missed on that day as well. And so that's just some handy tools that on Blue that you can actually filter everything out and just see what you missed on that day, and then you can kind of see like what's going on, what are the team updates, and if you click on any of these, it will show you like to the Blue AQ project. But we're not going through that project today. We'll be doing our own event planning. So just a little bit of intro here is I actually come from around, so this is something that I used to work with, and not directly on Blue. If I've known Blue back then, this might be very, very helpful for me, but this is just what my process would go through, and today I will be showing you like how to run an event in online and offline at the same times. And if you're a company that you're working for, or if it's your own company and you want to launch like a webinar, something like this, I will show you how to actually run a webinar and how I get started on this as well, and also launching a product. So this is just something that I used to do for other events and like book venues and contact vendors. So we'll go in depth on that. So with event planning, I really suggest to have like folders on Blue, even though it's very, very unique to you. But it is something that very helpful for someone like me. As you can see here, I have like over 21 projects. So this is something that I want to keep organized. And as you can see here with the folder, it keeps everything organized. And if you're someone that works with like clients, so this is very, very helpful. So let's say if your clients are in different industry, like finance industry, tech industry, so you have like all of your folder in here. And you can also have your company's folder as well. So you can have like, for me, like I use this as like a Blue folder for myself, just so I can have everything more organized. So let's go back to homepage, and then we can continue for this Blue project here. Let me know if it's okay so far, and if you have any question, feel free. Here I can see from my other screen, and then I can help answer as much as I can while we're here as well. Okay, so moving on to projects. So within projects, in case you didn't know, Blue actually have our own project template. We do have event well, so we have event management and also another one called virtual event planning. So this is for any events, for example, if you have like a webinars like this one, a meetings, or any that you want to do online. So this virtual event planning will be very helpful, and I will actually go through in depth about this with you today. So if you go to event management template, so it will says here like help you build reliable event process, manage event teams and activities, and then keep all informations in one place as well. And this will just show you how to actually use the template. This you can always customize as much as you want, and you can also update the template and then continue to use it as your own personal template. I'll show you how to actually create your own template as well. So if you go here, you can just use the template. Let me go here as well. So you can use the template, and then let's say event management. And then you can actually invite your team member here, but I like to skip for now. Once I set everything up, and then I'll actually invite the team members in. So as just what the template looks like. It's very, very basic. It has like how to use this, some of the ideas if you want to dump ideas in here with your teams, and then also the to-do that you needs to get done, and also what you're doing. If you're stuck, here is like very useful. If you, let's say if you're stuck on like a social media campaign in here, and once you put in here, your team members should know that, oh, this is something that you actually need help on, so they'll actually jump in and try to help you as much as they can as well. And then this will be on the approval and then the done. So this is just a very, very basic event management process. So let me just show you what a event management or like launching a product or launching an event would look like as in a project management tool. So this is what launching a product would look like. So this is, I use this structure here that I from the template and just build above it. And with this, you can actually create your own template from this so that for later on, you can use this template on your own. So you don't have to use the blue template, you'll use the one that personalized for your company. So you can actually convert this to a template. And then once you click convert, you'll be able to access it through this template section here. So let me go back here. As you can see, we have registration form, which I will go through this with you with the form feature that we have at Blue. And then also we have this is the activity idea. So these are some of the ideas that the team would dump in, and then also what's currently in plan. So you would have see like list of venues you need to pick, list of vendors you need to pick, and then this is in contact and confirm pre-event show day. So this is just a basic structure for your project where you can just drag and drop everything to it progress, and then through this you will get into like the completion state. So this just help you build and see what your event look like, what's currently look like, what's before, what's happening, and then what's confirmed. So this is actually very important. If you work with a client, you can actually invite them onto the project and then let them see what's going on, and then also having them keeping track of the project as well. So this is very helpful if you're someone who works closely with a client and you want them to see the process of what it looks like. So this is something that's I find very, very helpful if I were to use a project management at the time I was in the event. So the clients can actually see. But when it comes to budgeting, I would highly suggest project and then just having the budgeting to yourself, and then you can show that to your client after, which I will show you after this, where you can actually export this whole project as a CSV file, and then once you're in the CSV file state, you can remove the original budget and replace the budget that you need to send off to your client. So that is I find very, very helpful for me if you're in the event. So let's go through each of the custom field. Once that's done, to this just to see like what works best. So let me use this as an example. So this is one that. So this would be the title of the event, of the venue, and then this is very handy because you actually don't have to enter like gateway venue, because that would be a bit confusing, but you can actually add tag on it just so you all of your project in a way that's much more neat and more clean, so that you're as clean as possible. And this would be the phone number field, where you can add the Gateway Center phone number or the email or the website, and even the cost and budget. And if this approved, you can also add the custom field as approved, and also the location of where it is. You can also add file custom field, and then you can actually see like, oh, this is where the center is. And then you can also do like a contract, and this is how you can actually preview PDF file or images file or even Word file as well from directly on Blue. So it's very, very easy, very in one place. So you can have everything in one place as well. And to add custom field, you can just go to add more custom field. Here you can manage like phone number, email, website. You can edit the name of it pretty easily, and you can create more custom fields. So let's say if you want like a country custom field. So let's say if this event is happening in other country, you can also add a country custom field as well. and there will be like a drop down for you. And this is, as you can see here, you have like the flag and all of that in here as well. So that's just a little nice touch on the custom field that we have. So here is where you can actually do repeat to do, but actually for event planning, for repeat to do, I think mainly it's just for like weekly team catch up or weekly catch up with the client, so you can have the to do repeated. And then this way, if you add them as a signee, it will actually automatically email them that, oh, this is a to do. So it acts almost like a reminder of if you have like a team meeting or a team catch up. So I highly recommend you to use this repeat to do as well. If you have any questions on repeating to do right now, you can always ask in, and then I'll help answer right now and just demonstrate to you how it works as well. So just let me know regarding repeated to do. If not, then we can move on to database view and also calendar view, which is very, very important for event planning as well. Okay, so let's move on to different types of views. So as you've known, or if you're new to Blue, you know that Blue has multiple views, and you can easily access it through here. If you go to board, it will go lead you to calendar, database, list, or map view. So if you go to the calendar view sections, you can see like all of the events that has a date on it. So unfortunately, this one only has one date on it, but if you to a due date, or if any of the to-do has a date, show up here. And another cool thing about calendar view is that you can actually add the to-do right on the event itself. So you can do like, okay, site checkup. So this would be like a day before the event, right? You can add this and you can see everything at a glance, which is quite handy for you if you're working at event. And if you're on the site as well, you can add like, oh, this is when the client actually wants to see the client wants to see the event, and you can say like client meetup. So quickly just add everything here quite easily. I'll just do that. And then you can also remove the weekend here as well, just so that you can have like a much cleaner view. For myself, I actually like to leave it on. And then you can also sync this with your Google, Outlook, or iCalendar as well. So if you copy this, and if you go to any of the calendar that you use, for example, Apple or iCal, you can just go to the settings section and you'll be able to paste this. And all of these to do here will appear on your Google, Outlook, or iCalendar as well. Okay, so based on the webinars that I mentioned, is that we will go in depth on database view. So let me unpin this and we'll show you how to pin and how to actually work on the database view as well. Okay, so while we're here, if you have any questions before we get started to go in depth on this, please let me know, and I'm happy to help explain any necessary questions or anything that you confused on database view. Very, very happy to help you with any of these section here. So please let me know. Okay. So if that's no question, I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump into this section here. Okay, so this is our database view. And if you work with like spreadsheet or Excel, you will know that the database view is very, very handy. It's very, very powerful to see everything at a glance. And you can actually see all of these project here. So like, as you can see, the title of the to-do, the tags here, the list, due dates, assignees, phone numbers. So these are all of the custom field. And this may look overwhelming. So what I suggest you to do is actually group the field here. So what I like to do is actually grouped by tags. Some people will group by list, or some people will group by due dates. It really depends on your preferences and how you think would work best for you and your company. So for event planning, I think filter it by tag is really helpful because it helps categorize what you need to get done for the event. So as you can see here, it's very, very clean and actually very handy. So let me just pin this to left, like so. And then if you go to, let's say, venue, you only want to see the venue of the event. So these are all the listed venue where you need to select, you need to pick, you need to finalize with your client. And as you can see here, I believe this Gateway Center is approved. So if this is approved, you can easily see it on here. So you don't have to actually go into a to-do like how you would on a board view. Go right into a Gateway Centers or like in the database view like this, and then you can easily just see, and then you can always drag and drop, resize it however you like. This is very, very handy for, let's say, you don't really want to see like other stuff like these, so you just move it here like so. You can also edit and assign people right on this database view, so it's very, very fast, very easy, and you can also assign multiple team members here as well. You can set a due date, and the date picker will pop up here, like this. So this is very, very helpful, very handy, and you can also see like which list is it on. So it would be like in contact, planning, or this would be like confirmed. So this is just a much, much handier way to see all of your to-do in just at a glance, right? And then you can also edit the email, phone number right on here. If you want to approve some of these, you can also do that here as well. Another thing that I find helpful, if you actually go to cost, so let's see, I think it's, yeah. So if you work with Excel, you know that if you add all of these up, it will actually add the sum of the events. So if you drag here like this, it actually shows the total amount of how much the budget is for this event. Or if you have more budget on here, it will shows up on here as well. So let me just give you an example on that. Like that. As you can see here, it all adds up. And what I recommend if you work with a client or work with event, or if you're an agency, this is something that's really, really helpful if you want to see like the total cost or like the total how much you've spent. So I would recommend to add another custom field here to see like, oh, this is how much we've spent, and then you can just drag it like this, and then you can see like the total summary of this as well. And as you can see, also the file filter is also in here as well. So you can kind of see like the picture in like an Excel form, right? That's like quite cool for me, I think. And then you can also see the address here. So this is just what like a database view would look like. And another way is that you can also filter it. What I like to do with filtering when it comes to clients or when it comes to like events like this, I would say like maybe cost is very, very important. Like let's say if it's greater than, right? As you can see here, there's like 2,000 here and 10K, or it's like equal to, so you can see here. So this is just like an easier way to just filter everything out. And I find this very helpful if you work in like an event as well. Like this, of course, not this many to-dos will appear here. This is just like a use case example. There would be like hundreds and hundreds of to-do. If you use advanced filters, you just filter everything out. And if you want, you can also see like if it's approved or not by your team member is checked. So as you can see here, oh, this is the sound and light team is approved. So that's like a good sign for you to continue on. And as you can see, it's just much, much easier, and it really helps you just to see everything at a glance. And it's very, very easy just to filter everything out for you to see. And then also you can filter it by assignees, so you can keep like your team accountable for what they do. You can check to see like, oh, this is their my to-dos. This is something that been asked a lot on Blue, is that how to see the other person's to-do. Unfortunately, we don't have like how to see their my to-do yet, but that is actually coming very soon. But this is actually a way to see what they would be doing for that project. So if they are assigned to a project, you can this look almost like what their my to do would be. So this is all the things that I assigned to do. So if you want to see like other people's as well, you can also always filter that out. And then you can also filter by tag, but this is almost like a filtering by tag as well. If you look it like this way, right? So if you just do this and then just want to see your supplier list, there's 4. If you work in event, you know that there's more than 4 supplier lists that you need to go through. And then if you just that day you need to work on supplier, you need to contact them. And then you can also add like their website, their phone numbers, so you can just easily just grab a call to them right away. And if it's approved, if it's good to go, you can just easily check this out and just make your workflow much easier for you. Okay, so is there any questions so far while we're here on the database view? I know this is something that's quite new, so there might be a lot of questions on this. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the chat box and then I'll try to answer as much as I can. If not, then I'll continue on to our other board view and then just see like how you can use automations with event planning, and then we'll jump into the other project where how to use like Blue to launch like a webinars like this. Okay, so with automations, currently I only have this as well. So let's say when a new to-do is created in this like registration form, you add like the registration tag. As you can see here, these are the 2 things that was added during the calendar views. So currently we don't have the option to select which list, but definitely you can always move this up as well, so it doesn't clutter your registration form. Since this was like the first list, that's why it goes to this list here. Yeah, so only set 1 automations for this event planning, but you can definitely add more automations in. So let's say if a to-do is moved to another list, let's say show day, and then you can remove due dates, add action, remove tags as well if you want to, but I would suggest not to use to remove tag in case you need to use this project for later on, or if you need to export this and you might need to add the tag in, so let's not do that. Maybe unassign people, so let's do this and then just mark it as complete. So this is a fairly long automation. So let's say when you move a to-do to like show day, remove due date, unassign, and then also mark it as complete. So if you go like that, and then let me just show you an example of what that would look like. So if this is an event setup, so if you move to this, so everything just removed, remove due dates, remove everything. As you can see here, this is just an activity logs on this. Okay, so that's just how automation would work. Another example, there you go. So that's just what it will look like and how easy it is to actually use automation and just save you time and just make your workflow a lot more smoother, in my opinion. Let's look into discussion as well, and we'll come back to the registration form in a bit. So for discussions, for event planning, I find discussions very helpful because let's say you need to discuss on like, okay, what do you think of this supplier? And then you can just discuss this with your team quickly. You don't have to pull up a meeting and then have everyone join in like 30 minutes, where you can actually do it for like less than 5 minutes. And you can weigh on the pros and cons about this as well, and then you can decide later on with your team members to see if it's approved, and if it's not, then you can just like mark it as complete or approve on this event and approve on the supplier, and then that would be good to go. So that's what I want to touch upon when it comes to discussions. And I just want to mention like how important it is for if you're working with like a team and you just want everything to run pretty quickly and smoother. Okay, so another thing is definitely files as well. So currently it looks like this right now. So as you can see, you have everything at a glance as well, all the files. But soon we will have file folders. That way everything will be a lot more organized. So for the upcoming webinars, hopefully I can showcase that. But currently it's not yet available. So let's just now jump onto forms. So if you want to do registrations on Blue, which is possible, if you go to registration form, and then you can just like send this out to like a list of clients or a list of people that you would like to invite to the event. You can have them filled in that name. You can add your company's logo here, add descriptions, what this event is about, email, phone number, and then you can always change the color to match your branding as well. And you can automatically assign someone in here, and then also save this to the registration form list. And then if you view here, you can have like, for example, name, let's say Sarah, and then Sarah at client.com, the phone number, right? And you can easily just, and this what your client would see, and this is, so as you can see here, automatically assigned me. And as you can see here, this is registered tag add-on. So this is actually not on the form feature itself, but this is what I set an automation to do this. So any forms that or any to-do that is added to this registration list, it will add the tag register. So this is very helpful for me because I don't want to have the form filled in and then I have to go in and then I have to like register form myself. So that is something that I find very helpful and also make it a lot faster for me. So is there any questions so far while we're here? Before I jumped onto how to actually launch a virtual event, just like how this one worked. I think this one might be quite a short one for the webinar this week. Again, this will be recorded and then you can easily on our YouTube channel as well. So please let me know if you have any questions. I will wait. And then we can jump right onto the virtual webinar events. Okay, as I can see, no questions. Good. So that means that we're clear on where we're going. So that's great. Okay, so let's just jump into virtual webinar events. So if you click on the virtual webinar events here, so this is I used the project template. If I'm just gonna show you here, use a template, load template, and then you can see here virtual event planning. But this is quite new as well, the one that I used. So I'll just build on this. So this is just the structure that I used, and then I just build on top of that. And then I'll reuse the one that I built on top and then just use it as my own personal template instead of using this template for now. So if you go back here, this is the virtual event. So this is what it would look like. And this is how I actually used to run this webinar right now. So as you can see, I have like all these topics coming up and then also the to-dos that I need to get done for this week. So this is actually a check because I actually have this as well. And then this is something that we'll look into for next week. I promise that next week we'll have it on Zoom just so that it's a lot smoother and that we avoid any of the technical issues that we have this week and also the previous weeks. And then as you can see here, we've run about 3 webinars already. So this is something that I find very helpful, especially when you get into a new tool and you want to get to know the tool a little bit better. So a webinar is something that I find very helpful when I want to learn about other tools. And this is just something that I work on. And if you're someone who's building like a startup or like a project and you want to launch a product, you can actually use this guide as like on how to run a virtual webinars. And this is just some essential that I think fits. So these are all that we used for the current webinar right now. So we have like Camo Studio for like the cameras, and then we'll probably switch to Zoom next week, and then customer is something that we actually use to send out emails, and then YouTube where we upload all the recorded versions, the phone, headsets, webinar spreadsheet where I actually plan all the webinars timeline, and then also Figma where I do all the artwork and mockups for the webinars. So this is something, for example, if I'm not able to join the webinar this week, my team can easily catch on this site, and then they can have like, oh, these are all the tools that they need, and then these are all the topics that they can choose from to run the webinar that week, and these are the to-do that's currently going on. And this is the current in progress, which I'm doing right now, is use case for event planning. So as you can see here, if I go in here, it's not much on here, but I do have recorded version and hosting site, which would be the link to this site, but one that's currently in progress right now. So as you can see here, I have me assigned just because I'm the one that's doing the webinar today, and then also the due dates, which is today. And then this is where I'm hosting the webinars. And then this is the recorded version on when I upload to YouTube. I can paste it here just so that my other team members can have access to this. And this is the email draft that I use. So all of this, and then all of this link as well, just so that it's much easier for me to just paste this and have this approved with the team and work on this with my team member. I don't have to go back in and just add the link, so it always be here. So description is very helpful if you're planning or messages you have, and this is what a checklist would look like. So this is how you would work a checklist on Blue, which you have like, this is what I need to get done, like email draft, create mockups, set up supplier tool, create supplier registration links, send email, create webinar timeline, upload this to YouTube. So once this is all done, let me just tick this. Once everything all done, I can see here like if it's completed or not. This as well, you can also add a due date. So let's see, this is what I get done. So this is actually on the 1st because we sent out email on the 1st, like so, and then I can assign myself here. And then I'll show you what it looks like on my to-do checklist after this. So as you can see here, you can always filter this out if you want to see like just a comment or the activities, if you want to see like the email filled in or not, or everything. So this is just keeping everything a lot more cleaner on Blue. So as you can see here, this is assigned on the checklist. So this is almost like a subtask. So if you go to my to-do and go to my checklist items, here you can see like where I need to draft the email. It's assigned to me as well. So this will show like all of my checklist items on here. And this is another thing, is that you can always sync this to your calendar, Outlook, or iCal. So very helpful if you want to see something that needs to get done and it's assigned to you, and all of these tasks that has a due date will appear on your calendar view on your personal. So let's go back to the virtual events. So as you can see, this is what we did last week, and this is the mock-up that I did. So this would be from the tool Figma that we use. And then this is the YouTube video. So if you go here, visit the URL quickly, you can just access it through here, as you can see. This is what it will look like. So you can always easily access this, or if you want to copy this and just send to your other team members to view this video as well. or if you go to here, so this is just quickly on how custom fill works and how you can easily access everything on Blue. Yeah. So this is just very basic, very simple way to how to run a virtual webinars and also event management on Blue. So is there any questions so far? I think we can actually start opening for Q&A session now. If you have any questions so far, I'm happy to answer. Not clear on anything, or if you're stuck on any feature, I'm happy to showcase to you what we're missing or something that you might think be useful for the webinars, or any tool suggestions or any feedback on Blue. We're very happy to help on this. Yeah, another thing I want to mention is that you can actually work like these tools with. So if you're like launching a product, you can have your clients onto this project, and then you can communicate with your client right on this project. This is something that we do a lot at the agency. So if you can do that, you can always just onto Blue, and then just having them to be a part of the project, which makes it a lot more personal, and having them be a part of the project relationship. So yeah. Friends was asking, do you know when Gantt chart will be live? So this is something that we want to focus on this year. So hopefully within the next quarter or so, maybe Q2 or Q3, that it could be on beta. So thank you so much for asking about this. I know this is something that's highly requested, and it will be very, very helpful just to see the timelines of everything. Thank you so much for joining in as well. If you have any questions, please let me know right now, and then I can help answer as much as I can. You can always book a call with me for like a short demo. I can help you get started, get on board with your team. You can do like a whole team sessions with the support call, and then I'm very, very happy to help you get started. I just want to thank everyone for your time, for joining in this webinar this week. It's a little bit short, and unfortunately, Manny's not able to join this week, but hopefully next week he can join and showcase how to run like an agency or different other webinars, events. And if you have topics that you want to get into, we're very, very happy to use case for your project, and you can show it to your team members, or you can replay it for later on. Just let us know. We're very happy to help. And again, you can always reach us here by email. Quickly ask like small questions. If you don't want to book a call, you can always email us or have a chat with us. We're normally very active on Blue. Yeah, so just let us know if you have any questions so far. And this will be recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel if you want to go back and see if you missed anything, or if you just want to see like a demo on like the feature or on the database view again. You can always check out our YouTube channel, which would be YouTube and then just Blue Teamwork. So I'm just gonna open the question box for another 5 minutes, and if there's no other question, then we'll just finish the webinar early this week. For joining in this week, I really appreciate the participant this week. Thank you so much. If you want me to show, like for example, repeated to do, or if you want me to show like other tools that you're curious about, I'm very, very happy to showcase. Thank you so much, Don. Just gonna open the chat for the next. No questions, then I'll just gonna end the webinars. Okay, please feel free to send in right now. I think some of us are already leaving, so just gonna open this a little bit more. And if not, then you can find this recording again on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Have a good night or good evening from where your time is. Okay, so it looks like there's not much questions or anything that user are curious about this week. So next week for a new topics or join our community for any new updates. That would be ask.blue.io. So yeah, thank you so much.